Well, hey, what's up, fam? It's me, DJ Bretley here. Before I get started, don't forget to like this video and maybe even subscribe to my channel. All right, so everybody seems to be either hating on or raving about the Exoton 1503s. And I took a chance and I bought two pairs, one in white, one in black. I'm waiting for my white set to show up, but I've already used my set in black. And I do have my thoughts on them. And some of you may agree with me, some of you may think I'm absolutely crazy. But let me get into it all for you. So first off, the packaging on them is absolutely phenomenal. Two cardboard boxes that I had a real difficult time, as you probably saw too legit if you've seen his channel, getting the speakers out of the box. I had to cut both sides of the box open and do the up and down thing until it slid out to the ground. When I got the next box open, it is completely covered in styrofoam, like encased in it. So the bottom, the sides, the whole 9 yards of the packaging, the sub isn't going anywhere in the box. And even if somebody hits it with something, it shouldn't bust it up. So their packaging for it is absolutely phenomenal. And it's thick cardboard boxes. And yes, I did keep them, because they are a relatively new company and speaker. If something goes wrong, I obviously have the warranty both through Exoton and through Amazon. So, of course, I'm going to keep the box in case anything goes wrong. So now, what's in the box? Check the pick out. All right, so in the box, you've got the one 15-inch subwoofer. You have two separate poles for the speaker attachment or the column attachment. One's a short one that's maybe 18 inches, and the other one's 3 feet maybe. So you have options if you're needing to use the short one, which I doubt you would ever really need to unless you're on a stage and only could put your speakers up there. But, so yeah, you've got that. It does have a cover for both column pieces and the column itself that all come in bags and a padded bag case. The subwoofer has a 15-inch padded cover, and it definitely rivals what Tuki covers creates. As everybody knows, I am absolutely a huge fan of Tuki covers. They do the job super well and have protected all of my equipment since day one. Even when I've dropped speakers, they've protected the speaker. So what Exoton's covers are like, or are absolutely as good as a Tuki cover. So we've gotten through all of that. Now, here are my thoughts on the Exoton 1503. Does it have bass? Yes, it does. Does it punch? Yes, it does. However, it doesn't punch at a super low volume. And what I found is during social hour and during speeches, I actually had to bump up my bass just a little on my main soundboard. And then for the dance and party of the reception, I rolled back my bass on my soundboard and used my Flex 10 as I normally would. So, my first outing with them was slated for 250 people in a big room that had a centralized dance floor. And the one thing that every DJ is like, does it fill to the whole room? You're not trying to fill the entire room during the reception. Your focus is the dance floor. A lot of you are forgetting that. Outside of the dance floor, where there's tables and people sitting, they have chosen to walk away from the dance floor. They want to hear their conversation. We don't need to overpower those tables surrounding the dance floor if they're not dancing. That's my first thing about it all. Did they do exactly as they should during social hour and toasts? Yes. In fact, both the coordinator I worked with that day and her crew, along with the groom's mother and father, said they'd never been to a wedding where they were able to hear the toasts so crisply and cleanly. The coordinator was blown away when I told her how much I paid for the speakers. She just started laughing. And this is a coordinator I work with regularly. And she's seen all the other speakers I use and was honestly impressed with the sound quality during toasts and social hour, as she told me. Now, for all of you guys expecting some raging, crazy speaker, you're not going to get it. These are not top-of-the-line speakers. And I don't think Exoton is trying to be a top-of-the-line speaker. They are a great entry-level column or even mid-grade column. They are only two-ways, so they're not going to be like QSC three-way columns. That being said, yes, they are a little bright in my opinion, and I had to dial back some of the highs on my main soundboard. And since I'm using an analog soundboard, odds are I should be using a true graphic EQ, which I'm probably going to add to my Toadmatic DJ booth at some point. But I was able to get a very solid sound out of them. Now, for this 300-head wedding, or it was originally supposed to be 250, but the bride's and groom's friends crashed the party. They knew it was all in good fun. They knew they couldn't afford to pay for an extra 50 people for dinner. But the bride and groom were like, come on down and party with us. So by the time I played the first song of the night, which was coming out of our spotlight dances, into Jump Around, and the entire dance floor was packed with everyone in the reception. I don't have a picture handy right now, but everyone in this reception hit the dance floor, from the 20 by 20 space to everything around it. Everybody was there. And I had to do a test. So I walked out of the booth to the exact other side of the dance floor. I could still feel the bass hitting me and hear the high end through all the bodies on the dance floor. I was impressed, not going to lie. Overall, I have to give these a solid 7 or 8. As it's pretty well known, I don't like EV speakers that much. I'm not a fan of the Evolve series. I think it's the Evolve 50 and 90 and 70, whatever. I'm not a fan of that series. In fact, over the Evolve 30, I opted for the Maui G5 from LD Systems. When it comes to my mains, I prefer RCF or LD Systems once again. These definitely rival the EVs. They also, I want to say, would probably give not the 44s from Maui, but the ones below the 28s, a run for their money. By far, these outclass the Evolve 50s in every way, shape, and form. So, these are my thoughts on it all. I hope you enjoyed my thought process and what I had to say about them. But by all means, if you get a chance, check them out yourself. You may hate them, you may love them. I personally think they're a great speaker. Now, part and parcel, I should explain why I wanted to get these speakers in particular because of their price point. If you've seen my gig logs, a lot of my gigs or weddings have gotten kind of on the wild side. At a reception recently, I actually had to catch my totem in Maine because somebody was so drunk they fell into it and knocked it into me. That being said, I don't want to take the risk with my really good speakers when I know I'm on the ground floor and have a wild wedding in front of me. I would rather take a lower financial risk with my mains. Even though I'm insured, I still just don't feel comfortable risking my RCFs or LD systems when I don't have to. These are a great, ideal substitute for an Evolve 50. So whatever gig you would use an Evolve 50, these may be a route for you. Anyway, that is my 2 cents. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you all have to say. I could be absolutely crazy about this, and other people might think I'm totally on par with it. I don't know. Let me hear you. Thanks for watching, fam.